It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Moments away, it'll be the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, for the Pelicans, so far their season hasn't gone the way they or their fans expected it to. Listening to the coaches and players, they say the effort has been there, just the results haven't. You have to wonder what kind of changes are coming to get things going in the right direction. Maybe we'll get an answer to that tonight. Andrew Wiggins making strides in his game last season, scoring from all over the floor now, and more importantly, scoring with efficiency. What was the change you saw, Shaq, in his approach?
Well, I like this kid. He's, Ernie, really a quiet assassin. The three-point shot was clicking for him. Much more space to operate with an outside game. This kid can do it all. Oh, Canada, you better stand on guard for he.
Oh, I like that.
How come nobody's ever described as a noisy assassin?
Good point, Ernie.
Anyway, back to Andrew Wiggins.
Well, does a good job of drawing fouls as well, getting to the free throw line.
You know what?
Quietly gets to the free throw line.
You know what we also did?
What's
Anytime
that?
you get the guy to start the music early, you know you've done your job.
There it is.
Let's send it to Kevin Harlan.
The action always in full swing near the French Quarter, and tonight is no different here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We've got NBA basketball in store from New Orleans, Louisiana, the home of the Pelicans, right here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. We'll be catching up in a bit from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. The Pelicans hoping for a happy ending to close out their homestand before hitting the road. Still trying to find that groove they had last year. They'd like to grab hold of some new momentum and get closer to where they were a season ago.
And, you know, for the Pelicans, there were fears they'd be one of the NBA's doormats this season. Those fears have turned out to be well-founded.
Yeah, the people who said they hadn't done enough in the offseason to improve this team were exactly right. They never put the foundation of winning in place.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, Jimmy Butler survived a tough upbringing in Tomball, Texas. He said that's all anybody ever wanted to talk about. But I don't want that to define me. If I'm stuck in the past, then I won't get any better. I won't change. I'll get stuck as that kid. That's not who I am. I'm a great basketball player because of my work. Guys.
Thanks, David. You can tell Butler has a good head on his shoulder. He's an elite talent in this league because of the hard work he puts in. Just getting our feet wet here in the early season, but Doris, the talented teams that aren't coming together yet, how long do you think before they have to make some adjustments?
Well, I certainly don't think you take any observation you've made in the first 20 of the games of the season and run with it. It's such a short span of time to evaluate. And again, you may be having players who are not 100% healthy or are not quite in NBA game shape yet because of whatever occurred in the offseason. So I would think decisions are not made in the NBA in terms of, okay, do we need to make a trade? Do we need to adjust starters versus those who are coming off the bench? What's our rotation? Who's getting what kind of minutes? I would certainly think the feeling out process is as long as 20 games. Listen, if you're a GM, you're always in observation mode, but I think in terms of decision making, boy, before 20 games, I don't think you know what you have.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Wiggins and Jang at the small forward and power forward spots. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Towns in its center. And when Andrew Wiggins came into the league, there was a lot of fanfare and lofty expectations placed upon him. Many in the league thought he'd be the next big wing star in the league. And Doris, while the hype might have gotten carried away a little bit, Wiggins has shown he's a force on the court.
Right, he's dealing with a couple of things. The hype coming out of college and also being involved with the trade for Kevin Love. There's a lot to live up to there. But this guy has shown an outstanding ability to live up to the #1 pick label. This guy's a franchise talent no matter how you look at it.
He's off on the first.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
And he sinks the second. And Wiggins, his young career, just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that two-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
Clock at 4. Screen by Cousins. They grab their own miss. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, that play is so much about his reach and determination affecting the game defensively.
Towns the screen. And Teague, here we go. Towns, no luck. For New Orleans, their last game, a loss to Orlando.
And you know what? A shame that either team had to lose that game because you had to be proud of the way they battled in it.
Yeah, and you love how both teams gave it everything they had through the end of regulation. But in OT, only one side had something in the tank.
New Orleans on D. Here's Wiggins. Outside Teague. There's the three. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
Boy, for a capable three-point shooter, that's one he expects to make.
Holiday gets the bucket.
Well, I'll tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to go with the floater. That is not as easy as it looks.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And the rejection by Cousins.
And you got to be careful with Cousins around. His shot blocking can be a factor.
Butler against Holiday. Pass to Diallo. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
Well, you think about Tom Thibodeau as the architect of so many great defensive teams. For Minnesota, it took some time on the defensive end, but he feels like this team is starting to turn a corner on that end.
Shooting two.
No good on the free throw. And for Thibodeau, you simply can't play for him unless you exert maximum effort on defense. Doris, he can be tough, but fair in what he demands.
Well, as long as you're willing to work hard every single day on every possession, you can play for Tom Thibodeau. This is a guy who constantly preaches the importance of the little things, and he wants proper defense to become second nature for his team.
And Greg, you wouldn't expect it from a Coach Thibodeau team, but defense was an issue for the Timberwolves last year.
And the Wolves brought in Butler to help with offense, but more importantly, his defense. And Butler, familiar with what Thibs likes to do on both ends of the floor, has the leadership the team needs, particularly on the defensive end. They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first man.
Rejected by Teague.
Wow, how about the superb extension on the block from Jeff Teague? He just reads his man perfectly, Kevin. Well, he's a guy that can adapt and adjust to any defense he's up against. It's really something to watch.
There's a screen. Rondo kicks to Diallo. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. Now here's Jang. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Pass to Wiggins. Over Miller. And it's Wiggins missing. Pelicans leading by 3. Miller with the ball. Picked up by Teague. Holiday against Butler. Shoots from the line. The shot by Holiday, no good.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Wiggins against Miller. And Wiggins throws it down.
Well, you think the body up to Wiggins will throw him off. It doesn't help at all.
The Pelicans have gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Screen by Cousins. Rondo kicks to Holiday. Down low, Cousins. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Cousins has got his second bucket.
And Cousins, at his size, able to handle and finish like a guard. Very nimble in the pick and roll.
This is to Butler. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one is on Holiday.
And watching Jimmy Butler, he just offers so much on offense from a scoring standpoint. You know, obviously he can get to the rack and draw the defense to him. Also really improved his ability to knock it down from beyond. Just a complete offensive player.
First one falls for him. And Greg, as you said, Butler is a threat to score from any part of the floor.
It's a bit of a dying art, though, hitting that mid-range jump shot. Butler also does a great job of getting to the line. That's increased over the course of his career. Just a well-rounded offensive player.
And so Butler nails both of them.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Holiday against Butler. Holiday, the pass to Diallo. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. High, arcing shot. That one drops for him. Rondo's got his first 2 points of the night.
And at his best is Rondo when he's attacking in the paint. Beautiful little floater there. Easy to get it up and over the defense.
Now here's Teague, hoping to put that miserable performance against Miami behind him tonight. And now it's Rondo running all the way. Here he goes. And the jam by Rajon Rondo.
He always had great instincts defensively. Rondo using that length there to come up with the steal.
And here is Teague, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Towns. No good off the back of the rim. Pelicans leading by 5. And Holiday has it in the corner. No good on the 3.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Teague for 3. Tries again. And it's laid in by Zhang.
Well, the definition of an effort player. Zhang shows off that high motor, converts off the glass. Nice.
Teague against Rondo. And Cousins kicks to Holiday. Here's the floater. And it's good on the way in.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Timberwolves trail by 5. Towns a screen on Rondo. Teague kicks to Wiggins. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. 7 points for Andrew Wiggins.
This is exactly what you hope for from your point guard, Jeff Teague, unselfishly pulling all the right strings.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves.
And they swept the season series against them last year. They really did have the upper hand.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for New Orleans.
And you can see how big a role the three-point shot played in their offense. They were determined to spread the floor and just kind of open things up through their long-range game.
Here's Allen. The dish now to Clark. No good with the triple. Looking at the last game for the Timberwolves, it was a loss to the Heat in Miami.
Yeah, they were just pounded on the inside, particularly on that backboard. That was a huge disadvantage for them.
Rebounding requires boxing out, toughness, and energy. None of that was displayed.
Ajinça kicks to Allen. There's the pick. Feeds it to Ajinça. The rebound by Patton.
Well, defenders are in the area, and that's all it took to force him to change his release.
Here's Muhammad. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
We're talking about a powerful player inside for his position. Muhammad takes it strong.
Allen against Crawford. Here's Clark. Just 5 on the clock. Goes back up. The shot that time not on target. And Minnesota now the other way. Down low. And Patton gets it to go. Patton's got his first bucket in this one.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
And the foul called on Jamal Crawford. That's his first foul. Here's Clark. Brooks covering. Cunningham kicks to Allen. Here's the screen. Shot clock at 6. The kick out to Hill.
You know, I like what Muhammad does here. He keeps his feet moving and challenges the shooter.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Gibson setting the pick for Brooks. To the paint. Wants to get it to Crawford and does. Over Allen. No good on the shot. A bit long that time. New Orleans has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Hill kicks to Clark. Allen inside the three-point line. Oh, trying for it. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field. The feed to Muhammad. At the elbow, it's Crawford. Crawford missing again.
Well, it's not the defense that caused that miss. That one's all on him.
Allen. Great D that time from Gibson.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Got a piece of it. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
Man, you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
You love that they're making their presence felt on the defensive end. You can't afford to be careless with this team.
Here's Crawford. 17 points for him last game against Miami.
And equally spent as much energy on his D. I mean, 4 steals kind of tell the story. And the defense scattered all over the place on the break. Nice job finding the wide open 3.
Gibson the screen. Crawford outside. Of course, you've talked a bit about leadership, both on and off the floor. What are some of the traits, in your opinion, that make someone a person who would want to follow and the characteristics of a leader?
You know, I'd say someone who prioritizes winning, even at the expense of their own success. That would be the first thing. And then someone who's ultra competitive. Somebody who's available on a night-by-night basis. Somebody who doesn't let a little nick or a bruise impact their availability on a particular night. So unselfishness, competitiveness, and availability are 3 attributes that I love.
And leaders can be followers from time to time, too, don't you think?
Oh, there's no question about it. You have to be willing to be a part of a group, and sometimes that means ceding your leadership position.
And so Jamal Crawford nails both of them. New Orleans in the lead. Clark kicks to Ajinça. To the inside. Pick up by Hill. 1:24 left in the first quarter. And here's Brooks from outside. It's rebounded by New Orleans. The pass to Clark. It's blocked. Brooks right side. Here's Patton. Muhammad on the wing. Puts up a three. It's Cunningham with the rebound. New Orleans has gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. The Pelicans have missed both free throws they've attempted tonight.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
One shot.
And the free throw, no good.
Absolutely stone cold at the line thus far.
Here's Crawford, and the foul called on Jamal Crawford. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Jamal Crawford. New Orleans leading by 4. Pick up by Hill. Allen kicks to Clark. Jacks up a three. Up again. Kicks to Cunningham. And another shot. And they finally get it to go. A full night's work on the boards in one trip down the floor.
That's a big payoff for crashing the offensive boards. Go to work.
Outside Butler. Now here's Muhammad. Over Hill. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
And they make sure to get the last shot of the quarter there. Nicely done.
Well, that's outstanding execution, Greg. You always want to get the last shot of the quarter, which is precisely what they did there.
And that does it for the first quarter. Pelicans lead by 4. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from New Orleans. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with us about one of his biggest surprises.
It's crazy because I've never thought that anybody would be preparing to guard me night in and night out. But they do. I have to learn to cope with that and still find a way to be successful on both ends of the floor. And it's a learning curve for me also, but I'm figuring it out.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player. And if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And looking at what we've seen from the Pelicans, what do you guys think?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
I'll tell you, they've simply been more assertive in the open floor. They're leaking out early, converting with confidence.
Cunningham is out there with Solomon Hill. Then there's Ian Clark. That's Tony Allen. And it's Ajinça in at the 5. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. New Orleans leading by 7. Hill dishes to Cunningham. Hill passes to Clark. He feeds it to Cunningham. On the wing, Hill. Brooks covering. Just 5 to shoot. And another 3 for New Orleans.
Yeah, that's 2 straight three-pointers they've allowed.
He kicks it to Butler. And slam dunk by Butler.
Well, the speed and power of Butler, right? Hard to prevent him from scoring on the dribble drive.
New Orleans gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. Rumors about Butler being traded from Chicago were circulating last season. Draft day comes around, and the Minnesota Timberwolves made their move, Greg, to acquire him.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the trade looks great for Butler and the Wolves. Reunites him with Coach Thibodeau, joins an incredibly young core in Towns and Wiggins, and the sky's the limit, I think, for this young Wolves team.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, "I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times." Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player. Doors with every team now having shooters who can space the floor is such an important part of their offense. Who are some of the best players at taking advantage of that with the dribble drive?
Well, there's certain guys who you sit there and say, there's no way I'd ever want to be a lone defender in transition trying to deal with the ferocity of a Russell Westbrook drive, the absolute majesty of Kyrie Irving's handle, the combination of strength and athleticism of LeBron James. I just want to tell those defenders, you better step back, boys, and get out of the way.
You know, you make such a great point. As much as I admire the three-point shooting of Steph or Clay and the majesty of LeBron, the dribbling ability of Kyrie Irving to me is absolutely jaw-dropping.
This guy does not have explosive athleticism. It's a product of clearly somebody who has always had the basketball in his hands. It's majesty in motion.
Jang. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Cousins. Diallo, he's checked in for Solomon Hill. So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade. Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. Fifth, Jimmy Butler.
He showed such tremendous defensive instincts. Trust me, nobody wanted him guarding them last year.
And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in with another star like the Brow, but Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with a team who is committed to him.
Timberwolves trail by 9. Towns kicks to Wiggins. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, an ever-diversifying offensive arsenal. Wiggins baits the defender with that little up fake.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
Yeah, 76% from the line a season ago, and most would consider that to be a success.
First one falls for him.
And the problem for Wiggins, a former overall #1 pick, people always seem to want more from him, whether it's warranted or not.
And both free throws good for Wiggins.
And getting to the line and hitting your free throws, a good way to get back into the game. It stops the clock and extends the game and allows you the opportunity to set your defense. They've been perfect from the line so far here in the second quarter.
Now here's Cousins. He has 6. Another shot. And the rejection by Towns. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. From 11 feet away, DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. Cousins has got rebound number 5 here tonight. And again, no good by New Orleans.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
That one's good. The New Orleans lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Jimmy Butler.
Now, you can play the best defense in the world, but that doesn't mean it's going to impede Jimmy Butler's ability to score it.
And here's Holiday after Jimmy Butler made that last 3-pointer. Cousins inside, defended by Towns. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Miller.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Teague, the pass to Butler. Tries from 10. Jang dishes to Wiggins. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion. And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Butler with the ball, and Holiday picks him up defensively. The kick outside to Butler. Lets it go from deep. It's rebounded by New Orleans. They've led by as many as 11 points. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. It sets in motion a 4-game road trip for them. Now here's Rondo. Rejected by Teague, and they'll keep possession. Timberwolves trail by 8. Outside Butler. He dishes it to Jang. Holiday against Butler. Now here's Cousins. He's guarded closely. Rondo's shot is good.
Yeah, you can't let Rondo get free in those situations. He's an absolute terror on the fast break.
And the Timberwolves call time here. Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers, with the size and activity of Cousins. And just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
You look at DeMarcus Cousins, what a contribution.
And he has absolutely worn them out in the paint. They need to come up with a plan to limit his touches in the interior.
Minnesota making a switch here. Crawford's checked in. Now here's Teague. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Passes it to Towns. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
New Orleans leading by 10. Outside Holiday. Miller with a screen on Wiggins. Screen by Cousins. On the wing, Miller. Here's Rondo. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. Miller's got 3 assists in the game. Crawford kicks to Towns. Teague sets a screen for Towns. Back to Crawford. Towns a screen on Holiday. Crawford passes to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
The big cat climbs up and flushes it home.
Rondo with it. He's got 8. Minnesota with the rebound. Jang's got 5 rebounds tonight. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Towns dishes to Teague. There's the pass to Crawford. Drills the baseline jumper. Crawford's got it back down to within single digits for the Timberwolves.
Just a great job there from Teague to locate where his teammate was and get the ball to him on time.
Screen by Cousins. Rondo kicks to Holiday. Miller with a screen on Crawford. Here's Holiday. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Holiday's got 6 points.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Teague the pass to Towns. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cousins has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Holiday against Crawford. Here's the screen. Miller with a screen on Wiggins. Here's Holiday. Hits the front of the rim and out.
They're fortunate to be in front given how shaky he's been from the floor tonight.
On the wing, Wiggins. Towns the screen. That's it, and the Pelican lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Wiggins.
The broad shoulders of Cat helps make him an excellent screener.
Rondo against Teague. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
And let's take a quick look now at some stats here for Holiday. A very nice season for him last year. Averaged about 15 points a game last season. 7 assists and 4 rebounds. And it's always nice to be able to bring a shooter like him off the bench.
Well, hard to win if you can't get points productivity, and that's what makes this guy valuable to that second unit.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Dante Cunningham's checked in for Diallo. Allen comes in for Darius Miller. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Now here's Crawford. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Doris, you were born in New York, became the first female analyst to ever call a Knicks game. Talk about the emotions that night, having traveled that incredible journey.
You know, Kev, it was both magical and nerve-wracking. You know, I grew up a Knicks fan when there was a healthy Bernard King, and the league had absolutely nothing for him when he was doing work on the low post. Hubie Brown was an idol of mine. But it was also nerve-wracking to be the first woman to sit in Clyde Frazier's seat. It was sort of awe-inspiring and a ton of fun.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. 2 Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
Here's Clark. 5 points in the game. Over Brooks. Here's Ajinça. Lays it up off the glass. Ajinça's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboards.
Here's Muhammad. No good from outside.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Muhammad against Hill. It's tipped. Now Crawford. 6 points for him. To the inside. Tipped away. The Timberwolves working the ball now. And Muhammad gets it to go.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Allen dishes to Ajinça. Back to Allen. The kick out to Hill. They set the pick. Uncovered. It's good. It's his 2nd basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
Yeah, the assist has to go to the screen on that play. Gave him all the room he needed to rise and fire.
Crawford outside. There's the triple. That shot off the mark. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. Pass to Ajinça. Here's Cunningham. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. And it's a 9-point Pelican lead. Minnesota shooting a pretty cool 37% from the floor in the second. Not what they're looking for. And Muhammad has it in the corner. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Clark kicks to Cunningham. Hill has the open look. No good with the triple.
I'll tell you, he's been dry from 3-point range in the second quarter after hitting one in the first.
Crawford passes to Brooks. Back to Muhammad. Over Hill. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. New Orleans leading by 9. There's 49 seconds left in the first half. Here's Clark. Muhammad covering. Clark dishes to Cunningham. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The rebound by Patton. Patton's got rebound number 5 here tonight. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Brooks kicks to Gibson. And the rejection by Ajinça. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. 19 seconds left to play in the first half. Clock at 6. Here's Gibson. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, Taj Gibson is a big-time power player. This guy remarkable at getting hit and able to finish nonetheless.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And just 72% from the line a season ago. Not the greatest of numbers, but there are guys who are far worse off when it comes to free throw shooting.
That's good from Gibson.
Well, Taj Gibson is a pro's pro. The rugged power forward is known for his consistency. You can count on this guy game in and game out.
Here's the screen. Shoots off the screen. No good there. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, you're leading at the half. What will you continue to emphasize to your team?
Well, I mean, defensively, we still have to be good. We got to rebound the basketball. And then we've got to continue to push the basketball and score offensively.
We'll see if you can keep that going in the second half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Thank you, David, for that interview. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A competitive matchup for New Orleans in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. Well, for the Pelicans, Kenny, what's your take?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive boards. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than forcing a miss and then giving up a second attempt. The offensive glass is going to pay big dividends for them.
Shaq, what'd you think about Minnesota?
Well, they're getting beat up on the boards, Ernie. Woo. Smack them around, smack them around. And you know the coach is unhappy about it, because I'm unhappy about it, Ernie. I'm sure he's in the locker room right now saying, hey, we can bounce back in the second half. You need to dig deep, show some pride.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Welcome back to New Orleans as we take a gentle cruise down the Mississippi River before returning to action. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Andrew Wiggins really making a difference here.
And they haven't needed a lot of shots to get their points. Just tremendous efficiency here in the first half.
I think you can look to specifically the patience and the shot creation. Really solid effort.
And here is Teague. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Down low, it's Jang and Towns. And it's Wiggins in at the 3. New Orleans leading by 6.
Boy, how bright is the future for Karl Anthony Towns. The guy's already putting up 25 and 12 in his second year. This guy led every big man in double-doubles last year. He dominates every category you want a big man to impact.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, analytics has taken over the NBA, but Minnesota coach and president of basketball operations Tom Thibodeau says it doesn't tell you everything. He said analytics can measure a lot of things, but it's very difficult to measure drive. The magic is in the work. Kevin?
And Tom Thibodeau makes a good point, D.A. Analytics is certainly helpful, but it doesn't capture everything. And talking about Towns, Doris, and his double-doubles last season ended up being 3rd overall amongst all players, trailing only Westbrook and Harden. Not bad company at all.
Well, yeah, there's no question. It's amazing to me, Kev, how easy Karl Anthony Towns makes it look. He puts huge numbers up on a nightly basis, and to be honest, he's going to be regarded very soon as the best big man in the league.
Now here is Holiday. after the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. Right side, Rondo. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Floats one up. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
Yeah, coming off that screen, wide open, just can't convert.
And I think, Greg, that's exactly what you want. The screen was solid. The execution just fell a little bit short on the shot. They were hoping for a fast start. Instead, they're 0 for 4.
Holiday, the pass to Rondo. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. 1, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And 2, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with it.
The first one falls.
And when engaged, Rondo is special. A triple-double threat who does a little bit of everything for his squad.
So 1 for 2 that time with the strike.
You know, with the influx of talent that the Wolves have had the last handful of years, they feel pressure to win. And wonder when all that talent will mature. Expectations are being raised for this group.
Outside Holiday. 3-pointer. Drains it from beyond the arc. Holiday's got 9 points.
Yeah, Rondo just knows how to wheel and deal, has that exceptional feel for when one of his guys is open.
And the Timberwolves, Doris, with the longest playoff drought in the league.
Well, and Kevin, I think you have seen tremendous growth with this team the last few years. But remember, they're in the unforgiving Western Conference. I think they believe the infusion of veteran talent gives them an opportunity to make the leap and get to the postseason.
Now here's Towns. Looking to end his cold spell, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, funny thing is, in his only season at the University of Kentucky, he didn't start. And yet Karl Anthony Towns becomes the #1 pick in the draft. So unusual.
Doris, when you watch Towns on the court, he's as large as advertised on paper, but moves and plays much more like a guard. It's something that you see more and more in today's NBA. And it seems like he's leading the charge.
No, agreed, Kev. This guy has the ability to handle the basketball like a guard, and that allows him to create separation with the bounce. He can hit step-back jump shots, can spread the floor. A lot to like about his offensive arsenal.
The first free throw is good. And Towns drops them both.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those 2 anchors on the front line.
Now Teague, following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins from deep. Wiggins kicks to Butler. To Wiggins, and stolen by Cousins. Rondo with it. Now defended by Wiggins. Rondo dishes to Miller. Diallo the pass to Rondo. Cousins with a screen on Teague. Here's Rondo. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Jeff Teague.
And Rondo really more creative than given credit. Just has that knack for making defenders have to foul.
Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area. And every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
The free throw drops for Rondo. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Outside Teague. Pass to Towns. Cousins pulls it in.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
Cousins with a screen on Teague. The drive by Rondo and the jam by Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, you want to be successful. You got to make Rondo beat you with his jumper. You can't allow him to torch you on the drive.
And the Timberwolves call time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations for Holiday.
Well, you have to think that he is going to look to go to the rim a little more often going forward because the three ball just hasn't been there. Sometimes it seems he's not getting his feet set or rushing his shooting motion, but either way, it just ain't falling.
Here's Teague. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Towns the screen. Wiggins against Miller. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two. And the foul called on the New Orleans Pelicans.
Well, Wiggins, one of those guys who draws fouls at an excellent rate.
First free throw is good. And Doris, at the end of last season, the Timberwolves debuted their rebrand plans for this season.
Well, it was the right time, I think, to keep the logo fresh, and the team did a great job. You feel as if this will be the constant look for what is a new era in Minnesota basketball.
And both free throws good for Wiggins.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Rondo kicks to Diallo. It's stolen by Teague. And here we go. Teague heading to the hoop. Yep, that one goes.
And one great play leads to another with Teague. His fast hands and fast feet making things happen.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Now here's Rondo. 13 points in the game. Over in the corner, Cousins. And it's off from three-point range. Timberwolves trail by 6. Butler dishes to Teague. The Butler. And the rejection by Cousins. And the dunk by Towns. Pelicans leading by 4. Rondo passes to Holiday. Dishes it to Cousins. Back to Holiday. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down. And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
That free throw good from Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front.
Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession.
A moment here to see the stats for Butler. He's coming off an excellent season. 5th in steals, 14th in scoring, and he'd make you pay every time he went to the line. Top 20 in free throw percentage.
And as you pointed out, he was top 5 in steals last season. Just a lethal combination of great physical ability and acute mental preparation. And Holiday kicks to Miller. Cousins with a screen on Butler. Holiday dishes to Cousins. Towns with the steal. Rondo against T. Feeds to Towns. In the corner, it's Wiggins. That 3 off the mark.
And really credit their advantage on the backboard. That's where the lead has been built, and that's why they are in control.
Towns against Cousins. Puts it up from 12. Another miss by Minnesota. Pelicans leading by 7. Miller outside. No good on the shot. Towns with the defensive effort. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
First one falls for him. So it's both teams making substitutions here. And both free throws good for Wiggins. Pelicans leading by 5. There's a screen. The dish to Hill. And it's Cunningham, top of the key. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Minnesota's got 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Here's Towns. Outside Gibson. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And it's Wiggins missing. New Orleans has gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Here's Allen. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Brooks outside. Now the feed to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
You know, you have to use the bounce pass in that instance to make the catch easier.
And so here is New Orleans. Here's Clark. 5 points in the game. Ajinça the pass to Cunningham. Great D that time from Gibson.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Towns. And he uses the glass on the layup. Now just a 1-point Pelican lead.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Gibson with the steal. Brooks outside. The pass to Towns. And the dunk by Towns.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Yeah, a big change of possession in a tight ball game. We'll see if they've seized the momentum.
Cunningham gets the bucket.
A physical basketball there, and in the best sense. A hard screen allows him to shake the defender and get to the bucket for the layup.
Brooks kicks to Towns. Back to Brooks. Over Clark. and it comes off the front of the rim.
Well, I wouldn't say the D was exceptional, but it certainly was enough to bother him.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
The Pelicans have hit 4 of 8 from the free throw line so far. Folks, that's 50%. Not great work there. No good on that one.
Well, there's no doubt that last season the major downfall in most games for the Timberwolves was their struggle on the defensive end of the floor, right? Too many holes in the perimeter, couldn't get stops when they needed them.
Patton, he's checked in for Minnesota. Crawford comes in for Andrew Wiggins. He hits the second from the line. And this Minnesota roster has good defenders on it, Doris, but it's just a matter of getting all 5 players on the court to commit on the defensive end.
Right. Think about how young they have been, and focus at times can be an issue. You know, Coach Tom Thibodeau is not going to let that slip. This is a group that showed improvement as the season wore on, and they know they must be much better on the defensive end this season.
Two shots.
First free throw is good. Second free throw, no good.
I wonder what the score would be if they weren't controlling the backboard.
Clark dishes to Cunningham. Over Gibson. Minnesota with the rebound. Gibson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Brooks kick to Muhammad. And it's off from 3-point range. New Orleans in the lead. Pass to Cunningham. They set the pick. Here's Ajinça. And there's 2 points. On the glass, paying off that time. Ajinça's got 8 points.
Well, in that individual matchup, the rim is totally unprotected. He's just got too much size on him.
And off the mark by Minnesota. New Orleans lead by 3. On its way from Clark for 2. The second effort. They shoot again. And it's a submitting. And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting, not looking too good out there in the second half, right around 32%. Here's Patton. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cunningham's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Allen kicks to Clark. Allen, a screen on Crawford. Here's Clark, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And taking a look back at last year's numbers, he's about a 76% shooter.
And he makes the first. That misses, so he splits the free throws. Well, with Taj Gibson on the court, you know you're going to get great energy and intensity, and you're going to get it at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, there's no question. The fervor that Gibson plays with on the defensive end, to me, rubs off on his teammates. He never takes a play off. He works endlessly to make life tough for his assignment. This guy is underrated as a defensive force in the NBA.
So it's Minnesota now. The Pelicans make their last shot. They get it back. Goes back up. It's good, and the New Orleans lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Patton.
Boy, look at how hard he pursues the basketball. Gets out of his area. Terrific work on the offensive glass.
Allen passes to Ajinça. Clark for three. Hits the three-point bomb. Clark's got 11 points.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Now here's Gibson. Kicks it to Muhammad. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Knocked loose. Muhammad with the steal. Looking to get it going. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Oh, that's a rugged finish right there by Muhammad. Takes a hit, able to convert.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And at the line last year, he was good on about 77% of his attempts.
For a guy as powerful as Muhammad, you'd like to see him get to the free throw line a whole lot more than he does.
Clark kicks to Ajinça. Now here's Cousins. Great D that time from Gibson. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Pelicans ahead, leading by 4. And we're just moments away from the start of the 4th quarter. Stay with us. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Keep digging, man. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. Keep fighting every loose ball. Make it hard on them. Make them hard.
And there's Tom Thibodeau focusing on the toughness and effort he'd like to see from his team.
Yeah, he wants them to just leave no stone unturned, take advantage of every opportunity, and that's going to be the roadmap to success.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the 4th quarter. Ian Clark out there with Tony Allen. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and there's Cunningham, and it's Ajinça in at the 4 spot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Allen outside, 4 on the shot clock. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Clark for 3. Nice D from Brooks.
And you know, he's got the ability, but the question is that really the best shot you can get?
No, I don't think so, Greg. The defense will give up that deep a shot all day. You got to continue to move the basketball.
Here's Clark. Brooks covering. Clark kicks to Cunningham. They set the pick. Cousins dishes to Cunningham. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
He's cold from deep. 0 threes in the second half after hitting just 1 in the first.
Brooks, the pass to Crawford. Right side Gibson to take the lead. No good time. Nice D from Cousins. Crawford against Allen. He feeds it to Cousins. New Orleans moving the ball around. Ajinça with the bucket.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And the Timberwolves call time here.
And his guys are getting frustrated. Coach just really kind of needs to calm them down.
I think, Greg, they've got to continue to believe that the next shot is going to go in. He can hopefully communicate that effectively to them.
A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Diallo, he's checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Darius Miller comes in for Cunningham. Drew Holiday, he's checked in for Tony Allen. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Ian Clark. Timberwolves also changing it up. Gorgui Dieng's checked in for Gibson. Jimmy Butler comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. And it's Teague in for Aaron Brooks. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I listened to Tom Thibodeau talking to his team during the break. He was not happy with their shot selection, and he let them know about it. He said, we're taking low percentage shots, guys. Space the floor, make the extra pass, and work for those shots in the flow of the offense. Stay with the plan. We'll see if they can get it going.
Thank you, David. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague. Shot clock at 5. Here's Rondo. And it's off target. Not sure why he took that one. Timberwolves trail by 3. Crawford outside. He kicks it to Teague. They set the screen. He dishes it to Jang. Back to Teague. Over Holiday. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Pelicans leading by 3. Pull up Jay. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. 14 points for Drew Holiday.
That's just an incredible find coming from the big man. No debating Cousins' smarts on the court. He picks out a pass there that not many guys would have seen.
Now here's Butler. Yes, it is. Scored that as a bucket. Number 5 on a 5 for 11 night.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right, the effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
The kick out to Holiday. And it's off from 3-point range. Timberwolves trail by 3. Here's Jang. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
You can see the improved upper body strength of Gorgui Dieng that allows him to finish through the contact, get to the free throw line. Nice. I'll tell you, Gorgui Dieng is improving and becoming a value at the center spot with all that length. He challenges shots. He's got a nice face-up touch. There's a lot to like with this guy.
One shot, gentlemen.
That one drops. He ties it up. And with Jang's length and touch, you feel comfortable playing him at either the 4 or the 5. And also versatile enough, Doris, to play as a starter or off the bench.
Right. It's hard to find a big man who does as much as Gorgui Dieng. He doesn't necessarily dominate in one area, but this guy always finds a way to contribute.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
Well, think of this. Back in 2011, Jimmy Butler was the last pick in the first round. He's gone from a guy with a reputation as hard worker to real star.
And so Butler nails both of them. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Miller outside. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, starting to look like it's taking its toll mentally. He doesn't look like himself.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Here's Rondo after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Rondo kicks to Cousins. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Rondo's got 3 assists tonight.
And in 2015, Cousins added that three-pointer to his game. Now he can do it all offensively.
Now here's Teague. Three-pointer, Butler. And the 3-ball is good. Butler's got the lead up to 4 now for Minnesota.
Lined it up and knocked it down. His second triple tonight.
Cousins with a screen on Teague. Holiday left side. Rondo against Teague. Rondo dishes to Cousins. And Cousins throws it down.
And Cousins makes scoring look effortless. A super talented center who quickly can fill it up.
They set the screen. Back to Teague. Zhang with the ball. Pass to Teague. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
I'll tell you, they've had to look elsewhere for their scoring, and they've gotten it. This guy has had very little impact on the game offensively.
Miller, the pass to Cousins. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Affecting the shot in a big way there. Excellent defense.
Well, you talk about getting into the space of the shooter. This is how you defend the paint.
Now, here is Miller. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go. They get it back to tie it up. No good from Cousins. For Minnesota, they've gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. And the shot goes down. 6 points for Teague.
Well, I'll tell you what, impeccable work from Jeff Teague inside, showing great patience down in the lane.
Pelicans trail by 4. They set the pick. And Holiday has it in the corner. Rondo is screen on Teague. Another miss by Holiday. For Minnesota, they've gone 6 of 11 since the start of the 4th quarter. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Boy, I love to watch Jimmy Butler work in the post. High activity level, hard not to foul that guy.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Towns, he's checked in for Minnesota. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Jamal Crawford. And so Butler nails both of them. Pelicans trail by 6. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Miller kicks to Diallo. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
That free throw good from Diallo. No good on the second free throw. Minnesota ball. They're on a 16-6 run. And the dunk by Towns.
Well, late rotation by Defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
The Pelicans trail. Outside Holiday. Rondo on top. Teague covering. Back to Holiday for the three. The shot, no good. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game marks the first half of a quick two-game homestand. Here are the Pelicans with the ball. Launches a three, and Karl-Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got rebound number 13 with that last one. And finished off by Jang.
Wow, big-time size, speed, power combination from Gorgui Dieng. Wow.
Pelicans trail by 9. Out to the right wing. Rondo against T. There's the pick. Rondo passes to Diallo. And stolen by Jang. And here we go. Fast break. Towns has got it. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. And it's an 11-point Timberwolves lead.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
And now the presentation of our Jordan player of the game, Karl-Anthony Towns.
And guys, he's just played angry tonight. I mean, he's taken that anger out on the rim with one throwdown after another. They have not been able to stop him from getting to the rim.
They lost 2 straight coming into this one, and he knew he needed to put his foot down. He's shown leadership tonight, getting them back on the winning track. Doors with the players being so athletic and the plays happening so incredibly fast, the league is looking at maybe 4 or 5 officials. Wow. Would that just be more whistles or better officiating?
I'm glad you're chuckling about this, because I don't know how the geometry of this works.
Thank you.
As it is, sometimes the size of the players seems to swallow up dimensions of the floor. Kevin, one of the things that Steve Kerr once said to me was, we are trying to make officiating a science, when in fact officiating is an art, and sometimes mistakes is part of the human dynamic. Can we leave the officials alone, please?
And I think if they're over 90% correct, which is I think even low in terms of success in them calling a game, that is phenomenal. And the analytics, as you know, Doris, coming from the league office, is off the charts. They've never been more detail-oriented.
Correct. The NBA officials are the best in the world. Are they perfect? No. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Let's just play on.
Now, here's Teague. Wiggins kicks to Teague. Cousins pulls it in.
Now, great look on that. Just a little out of rhythm.
Yeah, he looked like he forced that a little bit. Just needs to take his time. Got to make these shots right now.
Miller, no luck.
And if you're looking for the main reason that they're trailing in this game, well, look no further than his shooting. I mean, he has hit exactly 0% of his shots.
Well, we all understand at this point how difficult it is to corral Jimmy Butler. There's more evidence right there. He draws the foul.
Shooting 2.
Free throw, good Butler. And he makes both free throws.
You know, seeing an uptick in his trips to the free throw line, really, since we came out of the half.
Holiday dishes to Rondo. There's the screen. Over Wiggins, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
And you've got to be careful guarding Rondo. Really good at just toying with defenders with that pump fake.
And he makes the first.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
And Rondo drops them both. Timberwolves leading by 10. Pass to Towns. Over Cousins. And no good that time.
Boy, terrific defense to impact the shot, not giving him any space at all.
To the middle. It's tipped. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. On defense, Minnesota. Rondo passes to Diallo. Dishes it to Holiday. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Cousins.
Since halftime, he has just been in a funk offensively.
No good there off the double clutch. Wiggins dribble. Jam!
Get out of the way. Oh, the ease with which he elevates Wiggins with a highlight move that time.
Pelicans trail by 12. Rondo kicks to Diallo. They set the pick. Feeds it to Cousins. Towns with the defensive effort.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
Now, this is a guy who was 63% from the free throw line his first year, as Zhang now has transformed himself into a very good free throw shooter.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He's off on the first. And he's good on the second. Pelicans trail by 13. Rondo kicks to Diallo. Butler against Howard. Dish to Cousins. Rebound Minnesota. Butler. Stolen by Holiday. An even 3-on-3 break. Miller against Wiggins. Here's Holiday. And the rejection by Towns. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. .132 left in the fourth quarter. Rondo passes to Diallo. 4 on the clock. Here's Cousins. Not enough on that one as it misses.
I'll tell you, he's had a tough night. And if you're going to shake out of a slump, he is not going to do it with those kinds of shots.
13 away. And that one's good. Wiggins has got 4 this quarter.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Timberwolves.
Their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Yeah, excellent defense around the rim there, Kevin. They were disciplined and focused.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And we watched them all night long. No one could really stop them. Just another excellent game it was for Karl Anthony Towns.
I think it would be impossible to overstate the influence he had on this basketball game. He was the centerpiece of what they did on the offensive end and the anchor of their defense. That's as complete a performance as we've seen.
Here's Towns following the score by New Orleans. Misses. We've got 33 seconds left in the game. Here's Clark, covered by Wiggins. No good from Clark.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Greg. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
No good from Gibson. Here's Clark. Here's the three. Misses the shot. So it's Minnesota winning this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Jamal, how did you guys get this win tonight?
We have good players. We have a good coach. I mean, he put us in good positions to succeed. Our players play for each other. We don't care about who scores, and we're a real team.
Yeah, there was a lot of flow out there tonight. Congrats again. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.